Good evening, good evening, good evening, my dear we Biotonians. This is a very special day, my lovely children, and I'm humbled by the presence of a great visionary educationist. Please fold your hands, join your hands together, my dear children, for welcoming a very esteemed guest amongst us, my dear children. This is in front of us, K.Anandavalli Ma'am. She is the founder principal of Matrushri DAV Public School, Hyderabad, with 20 years of experience with DAV. Ma'am, please, before I introduce you, let me give you your very illustrious background. The kids really need to know about you. She's been associated with this school from day one. My dear children, ma'am has 29 years in the field of education. 29. 10 years to 20 years more than your age of all the children out here. She started her journey way back in 1991. She qualified for BSc Mathematics. She's done that. Her qualifications are BSc Mathematics. She's an MA in Psychology, a B.Ed and M.Ed. She's graduated from the extremely prestigious Madras University and B.Ed from Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. This organization, let me tell you, gives totally free education. She secured a seat here based on merit. She felt that education came to her as a blessing, so she wanted to educate others. She grew up with the aspiration to be a teacher, and she is such an aspirational teacher and principal for all of us. She's a master trainer of maths in DAV. She's the cluster head of training in DAV Hyderabad schools and the resource person for CBSE for various workshops. It is our extreme pride and privilege for all of us, ma'am, that you've taken some time out to guide our students, and for that, we will be so grateful. Thank you so much, ma'am. We can keep going on and on about all that you've achieved, ma'am. Thank you so much for being a part of this discussion, ma'am. Thank you.
Those were very kind words, Dr. Vani, of my introduction. I think you spoke very much at large. I'm a very simple person, a small person, but definitely heading a school and doing what I love best, teaching, being with children and guiding children.
Thank you so much.
I'm in a profession, I say I'm a teacher by passion and in this profession.
Yes.
So I love what I do and I do what I love.
How nice, ma'am. How nice. You spoke what I've always felt. I call myself a teacher by choice. I'm a dentist by profession, but a teacher by choice. And and if given a chance and a choice to be able to do anything else, I would never want to be anything else but the teacher that I am today, ma'am. So, and ma'am...
And one more thing before we proceed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm a mathematics teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
I always tell my teachers that teachers are of three types: a teacher minus, a teacher, and a teacher plus. A teacher minus is somebody who, just comes to the teaching profession because they don't have any other option. They come to teaching as the last resort. And a teacher without a minus or a plus is somebody who has chosen this as a profession and does it for the sake of his living. He just listens to what the management asks them to do and delivers. Whereas a teacher plus adds value not only to himself or herself but also to the organization that they work and to the children that they teach. They add value to everything. So I feel as a teacher, every teacher must be a teacher plus up to infinity.
How nice.
Speaking in the language of mathematics, yes. I feel if every teacher believes to be a teacher plus, they can surely transform children's lives.
Ma'am, I've got goosebumps. After a long time, I'm feeling inspired, ma'am. I'm feeling extremely inspired. I'm proud, I'm privileged, and I feel so good to have you over, ma'am. I feel so nice. Absolutely, ma'am. And ma'am, when I say that very often, when you teach from your heart, when it comes through you, when it flows through you, it reflects. It shows, and then I feel we have the superpower to change this nation, ma'am. As of today, the biggest resource that India has is the human resource, and it is in the hands and hearts of these little kids that we can influence so much and we can change so much. So lovely, ma'am. We have close to 600 students watching you live, and I am sure they will be having so much to gain today. And yes, they are all excited. They're sending you lots of red hearts, ma'am. So coming to the agenda of today's meet, ma'am. This year has been special in so many ways. We faced a pandemic. We faced a situation which we never imagined is going to be this bad or good. Let's see. We got so much to think and ponder upon also. But these poor kids in the bargain, ma'am, did not get to attend did not get to attend school. They did have Zoom classes. They did. Their teachers did take that extra effort, walk the extra mile. But without the right kind of infrastructural support, without the physical presence of a teacher, things could get difficult now that they have their pre-boards followed by their board exams, followed by the competitive exams, all of that coming together. So my first question to you would be, ma'am, imagine a situation where they were not as sincere or serious about the board exams, and now they're towards the end of November, the beginning of December, they understand the gravity of it, that board exams are right next door. So, and they still want to do well. They want to be scoring roughly around 94, 95, 96%. How should they go about it? How do they deal with the situation now? They don't really have schools open. What should be their strategy to do well in board exams given the limited time that they have now, ma'am?
Yeah, one thing, children, let us face reality as it has struck us. We did not imagine things would be like this in February or March, beginning of this year. But then the entire scenario changed, and we could not bring you to the physical school, though in some places they have braved and they have started physical classes. In some places of India where the COVID situation is not that bad, they have started. But there are many pockets across the country where still the classes are going online. So as of now, as of today, we are mentally prepared for the physical examinations in the physical form to take place, and the schools are all gearing up for all that. We've had the NEET exam physically. We are going to conduct CTET in January for the teachers. So everything, our mindset in CBSE is geared up for the physical exam only. So let us be mentally prepared for that. CBSE on its part has reduced the syllabus to a certain extent. But children, reduction of syllabus is not going to give you a lenience for your competitive exam. So you have to be thoroughly prepared in the entire portion for your competitive exams. So what I would suggest, you see, I call this a triangle. Again, I come back to mathematics. The parent, the teacher, and the child, all three have to work together.
Correct, ma'am.
Now, whatever the teacher is trying to teach, if the parents at home, they resort to a small technique. I advise this to my students. This is called the Feynman technique, based on the physicist Robert Feynman, and he has given this technique. Of course, I used this technique in my home without knowing the name of the technique. Afterwards, after many years, I came to know this was it. When my daughter was from her class 9 onwards, she would take small chunks, small concepts, and I was her student. In the evening, 1 hour of study time to me. She will explain the concept to me. I have to listen to her. Then she will ask me questions and I have to answer. It so happened that once when she was in her 12th, she was very seriously, she took PCMB and she was very seriously explaining the reproductive system to me. I was listening with all keen interest. After the class was over, she asked me a question and I gave a wrong answer. She said, Amma, I explained the female reproductive system. You are giving answer in the male reproductive system. So I had to be a very keen student to her. So what I am trying to impress upon here is either the brothers or the sisters or the parents can give half an hour of their time to their child every day and ask them to explain one small concept to them. If they still have 3 months before their boards, that is 90 days, full working days, 90 to 100 days, and in each subject, if one concept is explained, I think by the end, before their board exam, they are perfect in 100 to 120 concepts in each subject.
How nice.
I think that will take them through. And it has to be explained in the most simple language, not in the complicated language that a layman can understand. And for that to be done, children have to sincerely study. They have to do it. This is all self-effort. Second thing, children, your teachers are doing a lot. I'm sure every school, who is trying to ensure that children don't have learning gaps, are also simultaneously giving you the video lessons of what they are teaching. So you always have something to fall back upon now. The COVID has given you an advantage where you have a recorded lesson for you to go back, to listen, to revise, and to listen to your teacher, and then to revise your concept.
Correct.
The third point is, what I would suggest to children is, make your own little question banks.
Yes, ma'am.
Read a page. From that page, make your own questions and make your own answers. This can also be peer learning. One friend can make for the other and ask, the other friend can make. You are all into different kinds of groups. Either to play games you are in groups, or to chat you are in groups, or to have your studies you are in groups.
Yes, ma'am.
How many WhatsApp group is there for every class? Only God knows.
Correct, ma'am.
So they are into different groups. So make your WhatsApp group into a study time, conversation time also. And maybe, you chapter wise, you can prepare a question bank kind of thing. And if there is a child with a higher intelligence capacity, he can definitely help his friend who might have a little difficulty in understanding things, in making things simpler for him.
Correct, ma'am.
So peer learning also helps a great way. And I think teachers also should wake up, and if child needs a lot of hand-holding to be done, the teachers also maybe should take remedial sessions, and parents should cooperate. See, again, if parents complain that there is a lot of screen time, this can't be done, that can't be done. See, you can't have the cake and eat it too. If you want to do something, you have to sacrifice. If the teacher is willing to give his or her time for the child, then again the child has to have screen time. So somewhere, we have to strike a balance between all these things. And most importantly, Dr. Sudha, Dr. Vani, what I feel is, somewhere when the child was in school for some time, then he was at home for some time. I always say children are like two sides of a coin. One side is in the school and one side is in the home.
Correct, ma'am.
Okay. But now they are under the watchful eye of the parent 24/7.
Correct,
Whether I should say the parent, poor parent or poor child, each one is poor in their own way. And the stress levels between them are increasing.
Yes,
each one is increasing because of the over expectation of each one over the other. And somewhere parents have started, getting more scared than the children, whether the children will be able to perform.
Yes, ma'am.
They start getting scared. Will my child clear the board exam? Will my child do this? Will my child do that? Seeing the question papers, they get scared.
And adding pressure on the child, ma'am.
Actually, if you leave the child to himself, the child will do it.
Yes, ma'am.
So I request all the parents not to become over anxious and over pressurize the children, but let children be and allow children to interact with their teachers, and don't thrust your expectations on the children. Just allow them to be. They will perform. And keep telling your children, I use only Obama's formula. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. At everything, yes, you can. No question of telling a child he cannot do anything. Yes, you can. Can you do this step? Yes, you can. Can you do this step? Yes, you can. And at every stage, the child should set standards for himself which he can excel. And no comparison. The next door fellow, भटका बेटा ये किया तुम करो, नहीं जरूरत नहीं, भटका बेटा कुछ भी करने दो, आपका बेटा कुछ और करने दो.
Correct,
वो कंपेयर मत कीजिए बच्चों के बीच में. Don't compare, don't do. Allow your child to set standards for himself and allow him to become responsible and accountable. He will surely excel. Blindly trust your child. Your child will take you to great heights. This is my simple request to parents and request to children. Children, don't allow your parents to feel bad. Oh my God, my child has not done well. You set standards for yourself which you can excel, and you will surely excel.
Ma'am, you are amazing. I can only imagine how wonderful your school would be and how nurturing an atmosphere would it be in your school, and especially for your daughter, ma'am. This is phenomenal. This is absolutely phenomenal, ma'am. You've touched the right chords, and you've really, I think you've touched their hearts, ma'am. They are going to remember you forever. Absolutely, ma'am. Right from the fame and technique to the undue pressure that mounts on the child just because of parents' expectations, because we thrust our own shortcomings, we thrust our own unmet expectations that we wanted to do, our own failures onto these really small kids. Let them be. And yes, they can, ma'am. Yes, they can. Every child has the potential, ma'am. It's just about realizing that potential and giving the right atmosphere for the child to shine, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. This was heartfelt. Ma'am, if I may request you, because I feel you can understand the pulse of the child. You've got it already, ma'am. Ma'am, these children are in crossroads. They want to do well because they want to get a professional degree. They want to become, this is a channel especially for medical aspirants, ma'am. So these are kids who are wanting to become doctors, wanting to become Ayurvedic doctors, dentists, MBBS doctors, veterinary surgeons, and all of these. So they want to get into biotechnology, pharmacy. That's their aim. But they need to do well in board exams also, because unfortunately or fortunately for themselves, that's how the society judges. That's how the education system is. So, ma'am, is there a way that you've been able to see it in your children, in your school, in your own kids, where you think that this is how they can strike a balance? Because most of them, ma'am, see, if they're preparing for the competitive exams, they lose out on board exams. Then now for the next 2 or 3 months, if they start to focus on board exams, they will somehow lag in competitive exams. Is there a way that they can strike this balance? Because the syllabus remains the same. And can you come up with some techniques or something, some management that they can do to help them strike a little balance between board exams and NEET exams?
Very nicely asked. As you know, NEET or any competitive exam for that matter goes into the minutest of detail that is there in the fundamental concept of any topic that is
correct, ma'am.
And maybe the comprehension skills and the language skills matter a lot for the child to exactly decipher what is being questioned.
Correct, ma'am.
So I am very I will very vehemently say that the NCERT books that are there for children, and plus even if they are in the state board or anything, the NCERT, if they go through the NCERT textbooks of class 12 and 11, right from 9 to 12, the fundamentals of all concepts are very beautifully embedded in each book.
Correct.
The language with which the textbook is written is also very beautiful. In fact, if you go for the civil services also, they say you start with 8th to 10th, 6th to 10th social studies, and you study everything in detail.
Correct.
That is what they say. So the language with which the book is written is also very, very clear and beautiful. So thorough study of textbook, not just to by heart the stuff, but understand. Again, we go back to our peer teaching and to concept teaching and to concept understanding. If you are able to minutely understand every concept and able to, analyze each question into its component parts and answer properly, I think you will.
Absolutely.
Then there are shortcuts. You make a formula short in your calendar papers.
Yes.
You will have thousands of calendar papers in your house. Your monthly calendar. Behind the monthly calendar, make your periodic table, make your math formulae, make your physics formulae, and every day morning spend 10 minutes to 15 minutes just going through that.
Correct, ma'am.
And I would suggest every parent, at least in the morning, let the child wake up and do 10 minutes of deep breathing exercises so that the focus and concentration of the child improves. Then after having his or her glass of milk, they go through all the formulae. See, it is just that our mind is like a memory, photographic memory. If you go on looking at an image for so many times, the image gets imprinted in your mind, and before the exam, when you look at something, the formula just comes to you.
Correct.
This is formula. And then I also suggest one more concept, of making mnemonics. Small, the first letter you make as kind of mnemonic for it, and then you remember it. This question is this mnemonic, and then you remember, and then you try to write the answer. And third one is story method. Use a story to make an entire process complete by means of a story. Give it a name of a character and use the story method. These are methods by which you can do associative learning in your mind, and you can help retention better in your memory, and you can recollect things very easily. But definitely there is a pressure of competitive exam as well as board exam. There are some children who feel no problem, even if we do badly in our boards, we will do well in our competitive exam. There are some children who only focus on boards and don't bother about competitive exam. Children, you must know to strike a balance between both, because now it is the world of competitive exams for everything.
Correct,
and unless you perform in the competitive exam, you cannot do. And when you go to your competitive exam classes, when you take classes from somebody, either somebody is helping you or you are doing stuff on your own or something like that, always have that questioning mind to ask for doubts and clear your doubts.
Correct.
Only that it will help you. I think, Vani, I have made
Oh, ma'am, you've been, you know them. So, like the mnemonics, the associative learning, the storytelling, catching hold of your family and friends in the first answer there.
Acronym. You make small acronyms of
Yes.
the first letter, and then you remember this question is this acronym. Finish. After that, you do it. That's it.
Yes. And calendars, like I keep telling them, paste papers on the wall, but I think a calendar will save so much problem, because it's a big piece of paper.
Yes.
Make your period.
You have these huge calendars with, month wise.
Yes.
That's it. You just turn it and you do it.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely.
Yes.
And simple things like deep breathing in the morning. You de-stress yourself.
Yes.
You improve your focus and concentration. So not rocket science. These small, simple things will make them do really well. Now, ma'am, because you're a maths teacher, and because bio students absolutely detest maths. So, ma'am, there is one more, I will not call it a majority, but there is a significant number which was not able to decide in class 10th whether they should have biology or maths. So now these are those people who have PCMB in their board exams.
Yes.
And maths and biology are two proper subjects. Apart from that, the never-ending pressure of a competitive exam.
Yes.
So, is there something, ma'am, and these could be the students who have not really focused on maths year round because they were not so keen, but now the stress is real. Now in the next few months, they will have to face a board examination for maths, something that they are not good at, something that they've not paid attention to, but unfortunately they will have to clear that exam, ma'am. Only then will they be eligible for anything else. Anything for them, ma'am? Anything out of your experience?
Ask them to be thorough with their NCERT textbook and with their exemplars. Exemplar mathematics and NCERT. If you are thorough with concepts, including the example sums and including the sums which they say are out of syllabus, do that also. There are some questions. These questions not as important from examination point of view. It will help children. And children, please remember, you can't rid yourself of mathematics now with the data analytics making its inroads into every field. So wherever you go, there will be one sigma curve, one pi curve, one this standard deviation and other things which come to your study. Even if you take up chemistry, even if you take up biotechnology, even if you take up pure science research, some amount of mathematics is going to come to you somewhere where your knowledge of mathematics up to +2 is going to really help you. Do your mathematics and do your statistical analysis for your data that you do. As you grow higher, all science becomes one big shell. Everything merges. It is not a compartmentalized science. So the knowledge of mathematics is very essential. Don't say I don't want mathematics and keep it aside. Mathematics is a very logical science. You only have to, I feel if you love your maths teacher, you will love maths.
Ma'am, well said. Ma'am, well said. Your favorite teacher becomes your favorite subject,
yes,
ma'am.
Your favorite subject. So please work a little on it. It is not rocket science which doesn't get into your mind. Practice and definitely, but regular practice. There are some children who think they can just take that Rajinikanth robo. If they see the book like this, it will get into their mind. It will not get into their mind. Yes. 1 hour of maths practice every day when you are in class 10 and at least 1.5 hours of maths practice every day if you are in class 12 is a must. What you know also, you have to practice different varieties, different reference books you have to do. Now everything is available on the net. Yes. All reference books are available. All sample question papers are available. Keep solving sample question papers. Keep solving this thing. And that will give you, and that will help you in time management.
Yes, ma'am.
That will help you in time management. If you know, there are many children who are very smart, but they can't manage the time. Within 3 hours, they can't finish the exam. Yes. The best way to manage time management is practice sample question papers, time yourself, and give the examination. That is the only way.
Okay. Amazing. Really nice, ma'am. Ma'am, what about practicals this year, ma'am?
Everything, that's what I'm saying. From December, people were intending to call, people in batches. Let's see how CBSE goes about it. We will all wait for the diktat of CBSE to do anything.
Correct, ma'am.
The schools, we are open. Teachers are really open to anything. We are willing to work for children. We are there for children. We will work as per how
the directions. Correct, ma'am. I'm sure, ma'am. I feel the energy in the class. They're sending you lots of love from Andhra Pradesh because we have a lot of crowd which comes from Andhra Pradesh, and they're so happy to see you here, ma'am. And they feel motivated, ma'am. You gave such practical tips, and I'm sure if they start following this, nothing to break mountains here. Small, simple things which you've told, if they learn from these small, simple tips that you've given, I'm sure it will.
One more thing. Don't think you can burn the midnight oil and you can read the whole night and you will, get everything the day before the exam. No. Children, burning the midnight oil doesn't help at all. You must be thoroughly prepared, and on the examination day before the exam, you must only revise. You must not start studying something new on the day before the exam.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. This was enlightening, ma'am. This was a delightful conversation, and we had so much to take home. Any closing remarks, ma'am? Thank you so much once again for gracing our channel. I think this is one of the best talk shows that we've had. Your persona will reflect on the children, and we would request you to come back again some other time when these kids need your help again, ma'am. Any closing remarks, ma'am? Anything that you would want to tell these kids?
I will only like to quote Dr. Kalam, who is my role model. Dream, dream, dream. Dreams transfer into thoughts, and thoughts transfer into action. So children, you must have a desire, you must have a dream, and there are 4 D's which are the what I call the D's of success. It is discipline, devotion, determination, and dedication. You must have a dream. You must discipline yourself with a systematic schedule of study, and devote your time to your studies. The hard effort that you put in your +1, +2 and your graduation years is really going to fetch you later on in life. You are going to get into a beautiful and roaring career. Children, most probably you must all be people who do not go to a place and start working under somebody. You must be entrepreneurs who start something by yourself and who give careers to people. And you must be determined. Don't wallow in your or waver in your efforts. Be determined, be focused, and be dedicated in your efforts. Don't listen to anybody who says you can't climb a mountain. Definitely beyond Mount Everest. I even will not say Mount Everest. Beyond the sky and beyond Mount Everest is your reach, and you can achieve greater heights and greater reaches. So all the very best to you, and definitely this COVID situation is a learning experience for all of you. I feel it has made children more responsible, more independent, and more accountable to yourself. You are accountable to yourself. We need not be behind you. Study, study, study. You have to now start studying and truly becoming mature individuals. So all the very best to you for a lovely future ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. We are grateful to have you with us. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, we'll end it here, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.